When I first started Dunn DIY, I really didn't know much about working with tools. I knew the general idea of the tools I was using, but I was never quite sure if I was using them to their full capacity. In Tools 101, I'm sharing everything you need to know about tools so you can DIY with confidence. I'm Kirsten Dunn, and this is Dunn DIY. Today we're going to be talking about three types of squares: a speed square, a combination square, and a framing square. Squares have a lot of uses designed especially for construction and roof laying, but we're not going to be talking about those today. Today we're going to be talking about the basics and common uses of squares for the DIYer. For DIYing, squares are mostly there to help you make clean cuts. You can use a square to make a straight cut or a mitered cut, and you can use a speed square to find almost any angle. They can also be used for measuring short distances from the side or end of a board, like for screw placement, and they can be used for squaring up projects. First, we're going to talk about the speed square. Now, a speed square works as a tri-square to find a straight cut, as a miter square to make a 45-degree angle cut, and as a protractor to find any angle. We do this by lining up the pivot point with the edge of the board and then pivoting the speed square until the degree markings on this side of the speed square lines up with the side of the board. So this makes a 30-degree angle cut. A speed square can also be used as a guide for cutting with a circular saw or as a guide for cutting odd angles with a handsaw. A speed square can also be used to square up the inside corner of a project. The next square we're going to be talking about is a combination square. Now, a combination square has many of the same features as a speed square. It works as a tri-square and a miter square, but it also has an adjustable ruler that slides back and forth, which makes it really convenient for making the same measurement multiple times, like lining up screws in a row. A combination square works great for measuring the length of an overhang, like this, and it also works well for squaring up the outside corner of a project. The last square we're going to be talking about today is the framing square. This square works as a tri-square for making straight cuts and also as a straight edge. The framing square works well for squaring up larger projects on the inside and outside corners, and because of its large size, it's great for marking plywood for straight cuts. My recommendation if you're starting your toolkit is the 6-inch speed square. You can easily make straight cuts and mitered cuts and quickly find other angles. If you're growing your toolkit, I think the combination square is a great pairing with the 6-inch speed square because it's a little bit longer and it can do a few more things. And our last recommendation to add to your toolkit is the framing square. This one is great for using with larger projects and for cutting out plywood. There's a right square for everyone. Start with the simplest, then invest as you up your skills and take on larger, more complicated projects.